Shedeur Sanders is juvenile. Jason Whitlock torches Deion Sanders parenting, blames Coach Prime for Browns rookie's questionable attitude. The name Sanders continues to dominate headlines in both college and professional football, but this time, the attention has nothing to do with on-field performance. Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders, son of NFL Hall of Famer and Colorado Buffalo's head coach Coach Prime Sanders, has found himself at the center of an unfolding controversy. Drafted in the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft, Shedeur entered the league with significant hype after his standout college career under his father's coaching. However, his transition into the NFL has been anything but smooth. The Browns' handling of his development has raised questions, while his own attitude and public comments have stirred debate across sports media. Now, prominent voices such as Rex Ryan and Jason Whitlock are not only criticizing Shedeur but also pointing fingers at his father, Deion, for what they describe as poor parenting and a lack of discipline. A rocky start in Cleveland. Expectations were mixed when the Browns took a chance on Shedeur Sanders in the later rounds of the draft. On paper, his college production was strong, but concerns about his readiness for the NFL lingered. Those concerns seemed to materialize quickly. Through the early weeks of the season, Shedeur has yet to earn meaningful playing time. Instead, the Browns announced earlier this week that rookie Dillon Gabriel would take over as the starting quarterback for the Week 5 matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. Many assumed Shedeur would at least slide into the backup role, but the team instead gave that spot to veteran Joe Flacco. The decision pushed Shedeur further down the depth chart, locking him into a QB3 position that left many analysts questioning his development and future in Cleveland. For a player who entered the NFL with fanfare and a last name synonymous with greatness, the slide has been humbling. But Shedeur's response to his situation is what has drawn the sharpest criticism. Rex Ryan's warning. The controversy first picked up steam when Shedeur Sanders made remarks implying he was already better than some of the quarterbacks currently starting in the NFL. His bold words did not sit well with former head coach and current analyst Rex Ryan, who wasted no time in calling out the rookie. "This kid runs his mouth too much," Ryan said during a television segment. "He hasn't proven anything in this league. He should be embarrassed with where he's at. Until he earns it on the field, nobody wants to hear him talk about being better than anyone else." Ryan's comments echoed the sentiments of many who have followed Shedeur's early days with the Browns. Confidence is often applauded in quarterbacks, but when paired with underwhelming production and a lack of playing time, it can come across as arrogance. Jason Whitlock turns up the heat. If Rex Ryan's comments were a warning shot, Jason Whitlock's critique was a full-on takedown. On his podcast Fearless, Whitlock went beyond criticizing Shedeur's behavior, laying blame squarely on Deion Sanders for the way he has raised and coached his son. "Shedeur is acting juvenile because that's what has been taught," Whitlock declared. "Deion Sanders hasn't disciplined him, hasn't prepared him for the real world. This is what happens when you parent like a friend instead of a father. It's clownish behavior, and now the NFL is exposing it." Whitlock's fiery take suggested that Shedeur's actions, such as his dismissive response to media questions and his public mimicry of Rex Ryan's comments, are a direct reflection of Coach Prime's parenting style. To Whitlock, this isn't just about one rookie quarterback making mistakes. It's about a pattern of behavior that traces back to the household and the unique environment Deion has created around his children. The mimicking incident. The flashpoint for Whitlock's anger came after a press availability earlier this week. When asked about his demotion on the Browns' depth chart, Shedeur responded not with words but by miming and shrugging in an exaggerated fashion, essentially mocking the question. The stunt was interpreted by many as a clap back to Rex Ryan's earlier comments about him running his mouth. Rather than appearing clever or confident, the act was widely criticized as immature. For a rookie quarterback fighting to earn respect in the league, such antics only further fueled doubts about his professionalism. Whitlock labeled the moment clownish, arguing it was emblematic of deeper issues in how Shedeur views accountability and leadership. Tension in Cleveland. The Browns, meanwhile, find themselves in an awkward position. On one hand, they invested a draft pick in Shedeur and likely hope to groom him for the future. On the other hand, his placement behind both Gabriel and Flacco signals a lack of trust from the coaching staff. Reports have already surfaced suggesting that Shedeur could be on the move before the NFL trade deadline in November. While no teams have been directly linked to him yet, the rumors underscore how quickly his stock has dropped. For a rookie quarterback drafted into a franchise that desperately needs stability at the position, this is a troubling development. The Deion factor. Deion Sanders, known for his charisma and larger-than-life persona, has built a reputation as both a Hall of Fame player and a transformative college coach. However, his dual role as coach and father has long raised questions. At Colorado, Shedeur thrived under his father's guidance, but critics argued that the environment insulated him from true adversity. Now, in the NFL, Shedeur no longer enjoys the protective bubble of coach prime. For Whitlock, this transition has exposed flaws in both Shedeur's character and Deion's parenting style. "The NFL doesn't care who your daddy is," Whitlock said. "It's about results. And right now, Shedeur isn't producing results." A polarizing legacy. It's important to note that not everyone agrees with the harsh assessments from Ryan and Whitlock. Some analysts have defended Shedeur, pointing out that many young quarterbacks struggle in their first seasons. They argue that his confidence, while perhaps poorly expressed, could serve him well in the long run if channeled properly. Still, the perception of arrogance, combined with his lack of playing time, has placed Shedeur in a precarious position. The NFL is unforgiving, and quarterbacks in particular are judged not only by their play but also by their leadership and maturity. Right now, Shedeur is failing to meet the standard in the eyes of many. What's next for Deion Sanders? The coming weeks will be crucial for Shedeur. If he remains third on the depth chart, his opportunities to prove himself may be limited to practice representatives or garbage time snaps. Whether he stays with the Browns or is traded elsewhere, he will need to show that he can balance confidence with humility. For Deion Sanders, the criticism of his parenting may sting, but it also reflects the reality that his son is now in a different arena, one where reputations are built on performance, not name recognition. Whether Shedeur sinks or swims in the NFL will ultimately depend on his ability to adapt, mature, and let his play speak louder than his words.